Yo, what's up guys, it is Seahawks Area back with another video, and today is my Week 5 NFL recap. Every game besides the Monday game is over, so we get to start with probably one of the best Thursday games we'll see this year. The Falcons beat the Buccaneers 36-30 in overtime, one of the many great games this week. Kirk Cousins showed out tremendously, but we'll get to that. Baker Mayfield played a great game for Tampa. The rushing game was actually pretty deep and good. I just wish Bucky Irving would have scored, but that's okay. Chris Godwin led the team with 64 yards. Mike Evans with 2 touchdowns, including his 100th career receiving touchdown. So, congrats. Also, first ballot Hall of Famer. I will debate that with any person imaginable. Irvin did fumble, so did Godwin. Evans picked up a fumble. Tyke Smith with 10 tackles. McCollum with 10, or Smith with 11, my bad. 2 sacks from Logan Hall, a sack from Vita Vea, and a sack for Anthony Nelson. A pick for Lavonte David. 12 points for McLaughlin, 2 punts for Gill, and now for the Falcons, Kirk Cousins. 509 passing yards. The first 500-yard passing game since Joe Burrow in 2021. Hell yeah, Kirk, and did the surf swag thing or whatever that dances after the game. And Kirk, we all liked it, even though I didn't pick the Falcons. I sure loved it. I'm worried about this rushing, though. Like, you drafted Bijan, 8th overall 2 years ago? What's up with him? It's not looking good for him being my offensive player of the year so far, but that's fine. Drake London cooked, Mooney cooked, Kadarrell Hodge got the game-winning touchdown in overtime, and Kyle Pitts had a great bounce back from last week. McLeod fumbled, Ellis picked up a fumble, 8 tackles for Bates, a sack for Onyemata. That's all, no interceptions. 12 points for Koo and only 1 punt for Bradley Pinion. Alright, the first tea and crumpets game of the year. I didn't watch any of this because I was not going to get up at 6 in the morning. I was way too tired from Saturday. But the Vikings go to 5-0. They beat the Jets. I wasn't completely crazy for picking the Jets, right? It looked like they almost came back, but what's up with Aaron Rodgers? He's not looking like himself right now. 29 for 54, 3 picks. Oh no, this rushing didn't help either. What the hell is this? Garrett Wilson showed up, I guess. Lazard had a nice touchdown. Tyler Conklin was cooking. Rodgers fumbled. Quincy Williams recovered one. Sherwood with 12 tackles, a sack for Oliver, a sack for Clemens, a sack for Will McDonald, a sack for Leonard Taylor, an interception for Brandon Eccles, 5 points for Zerline, 6 points for Morstead. Sam Darnold, he didn't look good. That's interesting. Nick Mullins for a pass, I don't know what that was about. Rushing wasn't good outside of a CJ Ham touchdown, but Aaron Jones did get hurt. The 1 week I had to start him in fantasy, he gets hurt. It wouldn't have helped me anyway. I got destroyed in both leagues. Justin Jefferson had a nice game. Addison had a nice game, I guess. Sam Darnold lost a fumble. Harrison, 5 people with 6 tackles. A sack for Smith and Pace. A sack for Phillips. Van Ginkel with a pick 6. Stephon Gilmore, I did see on Blitz post on Instagram. He got the game-winning interception, and Bynum with an interception as well. 11 points for Reichard and 4 punts for Wright. Alright, and the second shootout of the week, the Ravens take down the Bengals 41-38 in overtime. These kind of games are my favorite. Screw the defense, just score as much as you can every drive. Those are my favorite kind of games. I don't know why, but they're just more entertaining. Lamar Jackson cooked. Derrick Henry cooked. Lamar Jackson had a great rushing day. Zay Flowers cooked. He just didn't score. Charlie Kohler had a touchdown. Rashad Bateman had a touchdown. Isaiah Likely had 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews is probably starting to get pissed off because the second and third string tight end are producing more than him this season. That's not good. Jackson fumbled twice. Smith with 15 tackles, a sack for Hamilton, a sack for Madubuike, a sack for Robinson, an interception for Humphrey, 11 points for Tucker. He went a full 7 for 7 on the day, looking like his former self. Stout with 3 punts, and the Bengals. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdowns. Amazing game from him. Their defense is just so bad. If they had a defense, they might have 3 wins right now. This rushing game isn't really good. I'm pretty sure Zach Moss got injured, so that's not good. Jamar Chase cooked. Guess who had to play him in fantasy? Me. T. Higgins went off. Chase Brown had a receiving touchdown. Pratt picked up a fumble. 3 players with 9 tackles. A sack for Hubbard. And that's all. No interceptions. 4 points for McPherson. And he missed what would have been the game-winning field goal in overtime, which sucks. And Wreck now with 5 punts. Already the 3rd shootout of the week, and this is the 4th game being covered. Good gravy. Joe Flacco is QB1 until further notice, even though they lost. Anthony Richardson could never do this. Joe Flacco had a great game. If you had Jonathan Taylor, you probably would have won this game. Outside of a Trey Sermon touchdown, this rushing game is ass. Alec Pierce had a great game. Mo Alley Cox and Michael Pittman scored. That Pittman touchdown has a lot of controversy on it. I think it was a touchdown, though. Flacco lost a fumble. Lamets picked up a fumble. 10 tackles for Franklin. Not 1 sack for them. Nick Cross with an interception. 10 points for Matt Gay. 4 punts for Sanchez. And Trevor Lawrence got their team their first win on his 25th birthday, so congrats. He finally had a good game. Just removed the interception. He had a great game. Also, I am worried about Travis Etienne. I think Tank Bigsby just stole your job from the last 2 weeks. He is cooking on all cylinders. 2 touchdowns, 101 yards. Brian Thomas cooked. Brendan Strange had a touchdown. Christian Kirk cooked, still amid all the trade rumors. So his trade stock is bumping up from what this looks like. Gabe Davis fumbled. Him and Trevor Lawrence were going off on each other on the sidelines. That's not good chemistry. Bigsby and Allen picked up fumbles. Antonio Johnson with 11 tackles. 3 sacks from Trayvon Walker. I have ate my words on saying he was a bust last year. He's not a bust. And Hines Allen with the game-clinching sack, I'm pretty sure. No interceptions. Cam Little, 13 points and 2 punts from Cook. The Dolphins break their 3-game winning streak in Foxborough. They take down the Patriots 15-10. Tyler Huntley didn't do anything, so he didn't really have to because their rushing was kicking ass, so it's fine. Jalen Wright cooked, Mostert cooked. Aching had a concussion in the first or second quarter, so that's really unfortunate. Alec Ingold got the only touchdown for the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill finally had a decently good game for the first time since he was arrested. Jonnu Smith cooked. Jalen Waddle had a productive game. The fumbling was yikes. Jake Bailey fumbled. Your kicker, I don't know what happened there. Ferguson fumbled. I'm pretty sure that's their long snapper. Brewer fumbled. Sanders and Ingold recovered fumbles. 9 tackles for Marcus May in 2024. I haven't heard that guy since 2020. A sack for Ogba. A sack for Zeiler. He's just elite. No interceptions. 9 points for Sanders. And 2 punts for Bailey. Jacoby Brissett, he still has that much time to work with. The second that ball is snapped, his ass is on the ground. Stevenson cooked, even though he was allegedly benched. So he might not be benched anymore, and I'm pretty sure he didn't fumble this game. We'll see, though. Antonio Gibson had a productive day. Demario Douglas was productive, and then a big drop-off in the receiving. Yep, Isaiah Bolden recovered a fumble. 2 players with 9 tackles, half a sack for Akule, half a sack for Jennings, a full sack for Roy. An interception for Christian Gonzalez. That guy is elite this season. 4 points for Sly and 6 points for Behringer. The Commanders are a good football team. I know it's crazy to say or think, but the Commanders are a legit good football team. They beat the shit out of the Browns 34-13. I don't get why Deshaun Watson won't get benched. I don't care if he's like getting 230 whatever guaranteed. He's horrible. I don't care if he would be the highest paid backup quarterback. Jameis Winston will give you a better chance to win, Browns. If Watson plays like next week, you better bench him. He is so bad at football. 15 for 28, 125 and a touchdown. This rushing isn't special. Amari Cooper had a nice day, I guess. Atkins got the only touchdown for the Browns in the fourth quarter, so that was probably garbage time. Watson lost a fumble. Good job there. Devin Bush is your leading tackler. Okay. Half a sack for Reed, a full sack for JOK, a full sack for Zadarius Smith, and half a sack for Tomlinson. JOK with an interception as well. 7 points for Hopkins, 7 punts for Corey. I'll learn his last name eventually. Jaden Daniels, another great game, but a crappy end zone interception to JOK, and then Marcus Mariota's back with that great stat line. Okay. This rushing was everywhere. Brian Robinson Jr. just wasn't as productive. He had 2 touchdowns, though. But Eckler looks to be back, I guess. I mean, that 50-yard run was nice. This McNichols guy, I swear he has scored in every game this year so far. It's insane. McLaurin is cooking. The Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin connection is on fire. It's one of the best in football right now. De'Ami Brown with the only receiving touchdown. McLaurin did lose a fumble. Austin Eckler fumbled, and these two recover fumbles. 7 tackles for Luvu. 2.5 sacks for him as well. 1.5 for Bobby Wagner. Miss you, my boy. A sack for Allen. Your top 3 leading tacklers with sacks. That's great. A sack for Armstrong. A sack for Fowler. Totaling at 7 sacks. Holy shit, Washington. 10 points for Seibert, 4 punts for Way. This game was not as close as the scoreboard made it seem. Texans, you are a legit football team. I thought you weren't going to get this one, but goddamn, you got this one. Josh Allen, 9 for 30. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with that, but 131 and a touchdown. James Cook was like your only offensive production on the day. Josh Allen, 54 rushing yards. Keon Coleman, a 49-yard touchdown on a 4th and 3, I think. Max Hollins had a bad dropping problem. I kept seeing it on red zone, and I was like, dude, what? Catch the football. What's going on there? But yeah, this isn't pretty. Williams picked up a fumble. He also had 12 tackles and 1 sack that came from Dwayne Smoot. Interception for Bernard. 8 points for Bass. 8 punts for Martin. CJ Stroud cooked. Cam Akers, outside of a touchdown, didn't really do much. This rushing just wasn't pretty. Stephon Diggs had I guess you can call it a revenge game. He didn't score. He also gave Josh Allen a weird look after they shook hands, like a death stare, like, damn. Nico Collins, hope you're okay. He scored a touchdown as well. Let's see, Stroud did lose a fumble. Shahir with 8 tackles. A sack for Khalil Davis, and that's all. No interceptions. 11 points for Fairbairn. And 5 punts for Townsend. Fairbairn got the game-winning field goal, and I really want to know what Sean McDermott's thought process was. Not playing for overtime when you were backed up inside the 5-yard line or whatever. You threw it 3 straight times, had a punt. Pretty sure they got a good return on it as well. So that was just great. Just play for overtime, run out the clock. have a chance to win it in overtime. But no, you just gifted the Texans the win in throwing it 3 straight times, giving them as much time as they could have. What was your thought process there, McDermott? Andy Dalton could not have another revenge game. That sucks. They get ass blasted by the Bears, 36-10. Dalton didn't do anything. Bryce Young came in and had something, I guess. Chuba Hubbard, he might just be great at football now. Like, outside of him, this rushing was dog shit. Oh my goodness. The 38-yard touchdown was the only touchdown you guys scored. And Jalen Coker, of all people, is your leading receiver. 2 fumbles for Dalton, a fumble for Hubbard, a fumble for Tremble, who got knocked out cold. Oh my goodness. 15 tackles for Wallace, a sack for Harris, and that's all. No interceptions. Panera with 4 points, 4 punts for Hecker. And now Caleb Williams, he is finally coming along consistently. He is looking amazing. He is looking like the number 1 overall pick right now. 304, 2 touchdowns, and 9 incompletions. DeAndre Swift, he was cooking, but he was getting touchdowns taken away from him. I'm happy he scored one because he was getting, like, disrespected or something. He was getting pissed off. I know he was. He got 2 touchdowns taken away from Roschon Johnson, I'm pretty sure. Like, he got them all the way down to the goal line, and they brought Johnson in and let him score twice. If I was Swift, I'd get pissed off beyond belief. DJ Moore was cooking for you guys. Komet was cooking as well. Kyler Gordon and Dexter picked up fumbles. 4 players with 6 tackles, half a sack for Gordon, a full sack for Billings, a half a sack for Walker, a full sack for Dexter, an interception for Kevin Byard in 2024. Wow. 6 points for Santos and 4 punts for Torrey Taylor. Hey, he's punting less and less now, so that tweet that Caleb Williams said, I keep saying it, but it's coming true more and more as the games go by. Broncos they might be good. I don't care if it was the Raiders. They are looking great. Gardner Minshew, I hate to say it, but dude, you are not good. O'Connell's not good either. I ain't gonna lie, I think you guys should trade for Russell Wilson. He will give you a better chance to succeed than these 2 guys. Yikes. This rushing was weird. Amir Abdullah, Alexander Madison being your productive guys. Okay, I don't know what's up with Zamir White. I don't know if he's injured, but yikes. Brock Bowers, he might be the most consistent tight end in football right now. Jacoby Myers cooked. Let's see, no fumbles. Spillane, once again, leading the guys with 10 tackles and a sack for Wilkins and 2 for Max Crosby. And he got caught mic'd up saying, like, Bo, they can't hear you or something. I think that's pretty funny. 3 sacks total on the day. 4 points for Carlson, 5 punts for Cole. Bo Nix, him and Sean Payton had a little altercation on the sideline. But really outside of that, Bo Nix was on fire. Once again, I don't give a damn if it was the Raiders defense. Javonte Williams, he's coming back from the dead, it looks like. Bo Nix, 8 rushes, 9 yards, and a touchdown. That is a stat line of all time. Javonte led your guys in receiving as well, and Josh Reynolds and Jaleel McLaughlin had the receiving touchdowns. Wattenberg with a fumble. Bo Nix recovered it. 9 tackles for Strand. A sack for Zach Allen. A sack for Cooper. A sack for Nick Bonito. 2 interceptions for Pat Surtain, including a 100-yard pick 6. Wow. And then Riley Moss got an interception. Hell yeah, dude. 10 points for Will Lutz, 6 punts for Dixon. What a week for kickers as well, once again. It's crazy how many points they got and how much they helped their team win. And here's the second shock of the week. The Cardinals beat the 49ers. What's up with the Niners in the second half of games this year? It's not good. Kyler Murray went off, both through the air and on the ground, on his 50-yard rushing touchdown. 45 yards before he scored, he already raised his hand up like he was going to score when a dude was like, 3 yards behind him? Crazy, man. James Conner also cooked. Michael Wilson was the leading guy. Trey McBride was productive. Elijah Higgins with the receiving touchdown. Murray fumbled. Wilson picked it up. 12 tackles for Budda Baker. Chris Barnes with a sack, same with Naquan Jones. An interception for White, which was the game clincher, and Mac Wilson with an interception. Chad Ryland with 10 points and 2 punts for Gillikin. Brock Purdy, he ain't looking good this year. I don't know what's up with that. Their rushing, if you look at the total of it, it was actually pretty productive. No touchdowns from it though. Brandon Ayuk finally had a great game. Like, you should be doing this every week since you bitched about that contract for so long. George Kittle got the receiving touchdown. Mason fumbled, that sucks. Fred Warner with 12 tackles. Leonard Floyd with a sack. And Nick Bosa with an interception. Yeah, I don't know. They also got a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. And Jake Moody with 8 points before he went down. And then Mitch Wishnowski, their punter, got 3 points with only 1 punt. That's also a big reason why they lost, is they just didn't have a kicker. So I swear I saw it on Red Zone. They had a 4th and 23 and they went for it and they didn't get it. So yeah, that's why kickers are so important. They were inside the 35, I think, as well. But they couldn't kick the football because they had a punter kicking for them. I don't want to defend the Niners here, but I think if they had their kicker, they probably would have won. But at the same time, I don't care, honestly. The Packers beat the Rams by 5 in SoFi, 24-19. Jordan Love outside of a stupid pick 6. Like, that was some Will Levis type right there. He actually had a good game. The rushing was very productive. Josh Jacobs got a touchdown. Tucker Kraft with 2 touchdowns. Jaden Reed also cooked. Love with a fumble. McKinney picked up a fumble. 10 tackles for Evan Williams. 1 sack for Cooper. Half a sack for Smith. 1.5 for Carl Brooks. And Xavier McKinney, once again, with an interception. Could he break Trayvon Diggs' record? I'm pretty sure he did get the record, right? Of like 8 straight games with an interception. Or maybe fact check that, because I'm not sure if I'm 100% right, but it was in 2021. But goddamn, Xavier McKinney is the best safety in football right now, without a doubt. He is an absolute ball hawk. Navarson with 6 points and 5 punts for Whelan. And now the Rams. Stafford had a pretty good day, I guess. Threw an interception. Kyron Williams cooked. Blake Corum got a little action. Jordan Whittigan cooked. Tutu Atwell cooked. Parkinson cooked. Demarcus Robinson got a touchdown. Stafford is really good at spreading out who catches footballs, because that's a long list right there with not a lot of like well-known guys, but he's getting the ball to everyone to help his team win as much as possible. Kyron lost a fumble. Cameron Curl and Roseman with 8 tackles, 2 sacks for Turner, and that's all. A pick 6 for Jalen McCullough. It was ugly from Jordan Love, but they won, so who really cares? 1 whole point for Carty and 3 punts for Evans. Okay, we are frauds. I will not be scared to admit that we are frauds right now. This was bad. I was right when I said the most random ass people would torch us. Who is Tyrone Tracy? Darius Slayton cooked Trey Brown. We'll get to that. Daniel Jones cooked our defense. Holy he remembered last year and he was like, I am not doing that again. And if Malik Neighbors was playing in this game, we would have lost by 20 plus points. I am not afraid to admit that either. This was a horrible game from the Seahawks. And if Jenkins didn't get that touchdown, we would have had 13 points against the Giants. I also wasn't wrong when I said their D-line would beat our O-line's ass, which they did. 257, 2 touchdowns for Jones. Tyrone Tracy cooked our defense. My goodness. Darius Slayton absolutely fried our defense. Wan'Dale Robinson got a touchdown as well. Eric Gray was good in the receiving. Pretty much everyone was besides Tracy. Tracy did lose a fumble at the goal line. It was like knocked out or something, and Rayshawn Jenkins took it for a 102-yard touchdown, and I'm pretty sure it was the longest, or that is now the longest touchdown in Seahawks history. So, I mean, that's good, but, like, what good is it if we lose? Jones fumbled. Thomas and Newman recovered fumbles. Newman with 9 tackles. 3 sacks for Dexter Lawrence. Jeez. Roaches with half a sack for Brian Burns on the dumbest play setup I've seen. Half a sack for Thibodeau. 7 total sacks for the Giants. Okay. 11 points for Joseph. If they did not get those 11 points from him, who knows if they would have won. 4 points for Gillen. Alright. I'm going to say this again for the second straight week. It is not Geno's fault we lost. Geno was our leading rusher. He was keeping us in the game as much as possible. Our piss-poor defense didn't want to do shit. The lack of rushing for our actual running backs was very questioning. Ryan Grubb, what's up with that? Tyler Lockett had a nice day. Kenneth Walker had a nice day in the receiving. DK Metcalf, another fumble. Dude, what the hell? Jackson Smith scored his first touchdown of the season. Metcalf fumbled, lost it. Jenkins took that fumble to the house. Baker, hey, welcome back with 14 tackles and a sack. Julian Love with 10 tackles. Dotson with the sack. Derek Hall with a sack, I guess you could call it. I'm not really sure. No interceptions. Good job, Seattle. 8 points for Myers, 4 points for Dixon. Also, Trey Brown. Dude, how did you let Darius Slayton cook you, man? The blocked field goal at the end that we could have sent it in the overtime if we did make it. For the people saying, oh my god, that was illegal. Why the hell do you need a game-tying field goal to go in the overtime with the fucking Giants? That's my big question. We shouldn't have had that circumstance happen. No, we played like ass the whole game. The Giants deserved this win. They really wanted it more than us. And now Sunday Night Football, which was delayed 90 minutes, and it ended at like 1 a.m. Eastern time. So, I feel bad for the people on the East Coast that stayed up and watched this whole game. That sucked. Dallas beats Pittsburgh. I don't think I'm too crazy once again for saying Pittsburgh would win, but they didn't win. So Dallas gets their third win. Dak Prescott cooked, removing those 2 bad interceptions. Like, okay. There's rushing besides Rico Dowdle, I guess. I mean, it's so bad. I think they honestly should trade for Travis Etienne or something like that. They need a bell cow, a true number one running back to lead their team. Because Rico Dowdle and Zeke suck. Jalen Tolbert cooked this game, got the game-winning touchdown. Ferguson cooked, CeeDee Lamb cooked, Rico Dowdle got another receiving touchdown. Dak Prescott lost a fumble, also got one back. Dowdle lost one. Lewis recovered a fumble. Eric Kendricks, 10 tackles. Half a sack for Golston. Half a sack for Wheat. A full sack for Linval Joseph. Holy shit. Half a sack for Osa. Half a sack for Lawson. 3 total sacks. No interceptions. 8 punts for Aubrey. Only 1 punt for Anger. And Justin Fields got destroyed on a sack. Like, my goodness. He didn't have a horrible game, but like that Dallas defense was too good for him. This rushing is still not good. Najee Harris' longest rush was 6 yards with 42 total yards. Rushing that dude. But hey, he did lead the guys with 35 yards. The touchdowns came from Connor Hayward and Pat Freiermuth. Freiermuth lost a fumble. Fields fumbled and got one back. Nick Herbig with a fumble recovery. Minka with 10 tackles. 1.5 sacks for TJ Watt. Half a sack for Herbig. Porter Jr. and Dante Jackson with interceptions. And 5 punts for Boswell. 5 punts for Waitman. And yeah, let's see what happens on Monday night. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn the notification bell on so you'll never miss an upload. I will see you in the next video. Go Hawks!